and gentlemen, welcome to episode 30 of Power Up, your favorite superhero podcast. My name is Marchese, otherwise known as the Beast Sensei, and with me, in person this time, but as always, is my faithful sidekick and co-host, Gregory Virga.
I don't normally wear glasses, but I found these on Dean's desk, and I said, should I wear glasses? And he said, yeah. And I said, how do I look? And he said, pretty good.
Pretty
I said,
good.
pretty dashing.
Pretty good.
Now we're here.
Now we're here, and we're ready to do the show for you.
No.
If you guys are unfamiliar, this is a superhero podcast, and we go on at 10 a.m. every Saturday. YouTube.com/The Level Up Show. Level spelled LVL. Or go ahead and go over to Patreon.com/The Level Up Network, and for just $1 or more, you can get this show 5 days earlier.
Just $1?
$1.
$1 is all I gotta pay?
$1.
I get us on when?
Tuesday.
Tuesday for $1.
Tuesday for $1.
Oh my god, it's like a bargain.
Again, I know about the camera freezing. We're narrowing it down.
We think we found a Batman vs Superman processor in the computer.
Something's going awry.
A window legitimately popped up that said BVS.
It said BVS processor or something. I wrote it down. I'm going to look into that.
If anything were to be messed up with Dean's computer, it would be Batman vs Superman.
It would be Batman vs Superman.
Jesse Eisenberg, we're looking at you.
So we know it's freezing. Unfortunately, we do have to stick with this program because of the format of the show.
We need a comic book.
But I think I'm getting close to solving the problem.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
That window's never popped up.
That Windows never popped up. I think it might have something to do with this program. I think it might have something to do with Windows 10. I'm going to mess with it. I think I'm a very low, like 45% sure.
Okay.
By the next show, I'll have it fixed.
Low 45. So we'll go like 43?
Yeah.
Is that low 45?
No, I meant 45 as the low percentage.
Ah!
You know what I mean? Like I'm a low percentage sure.
Like that was the
percentage. And then I decided on 45. Yeah.
I was confused for a bit.
But,
okay.
I mean, that's better than 0%, which is what I was at.
Yeah, that's true.
So
it's like a whole 45% off.
It is a whole 45%.
Look at you.
I
love when it freezes when we're looking at each other.
Yeah. It's rapid. Yeah, I don't.
It's rabid?
It's rapid. It happens a lot.
Oh, like a lot.
Quickly, yeah. Happens a
I
lot.
thought you meant rabid, like your
no,
computer's rabies.
it's not rabid. It's rapid.
No, nothing of what you thought.
The format's going to be a little different. We don't have an outline per se.
Yeah.
It's going to be a short show.
Yeah.
We're going to run through some stories for you guys.
Yeah.
React, of course, to the almighty Civil War trailer.
Oh my god, that released?
That released, and we got a special guy who also was revealed finally in that. So we're going to just...
I wonder who.
It's going to be a little bit different than your normal Power Up, but we will start with, as we always do, with a toast, I think.
My water bottle, this is my water bottle, it's going to sound like a duck, but it's my water bottle.
I'm okay with it.
Okay. You have to lead us this week.
I will lead you this week. This, don't get emotional.
Oh god, don't make me cry.
Don't get emotional. Just let me say what I want to say. Don't get emotional.
I'm already sorry.
We do this every week. We talk about superheroes all the time. And I just wanted to take an opportunity to toast to my grandfather who has passed away. He was a real hero. He had a really tough life. He helped raise his family. He dropped out of high school in 9th grade. He got a job, helped raise his older siblings and pay for them, joined the Navy. This guy is a real hero that we don't talk about enough every day in life. So I love you. He had a great 90 years. Nothing to be sad about there. He's where I get my face from. Everyone always asks why I don't like any of my relatives. It's because I look like my grandfather. A lot of people never met.
He's so beautiful.
So I love you, Grandpa, and this show's for you. Toast. Cheers.
Cheers.
Don't cry. It's okay.
Why did you do this?
The duck.
I told you it sounds like a dog.
And with that behind us, what do we start with? TV talk? Is there anything on?
The only show on currently is Legends of Tomorrow.
Okay.
And it's not good. It's not good.
I haven't watched it. Yeah, I'm way behind.
It was the last episode we had was a little Firestorm and Kendra team up, little Hawk Girl.
Sure.
Went terribly.
Yeah.
Bad episode.
Yeah,
I'm way behind. Even talk about it.
I'm like 4 episodes behind maybe.
Well, you still have the good stuff to go through. You have like 2046.
But is it worth it? It's just to get to shitty stuff?
Well, I'm hoping this was just 1 week of bad.
Okay.
Because the rest of them have been good.
Okay. The glasses are you're killing it.
I'm right. I feel like I look amazing. I feel like when I'm here, I have to wear the glasses.
Yeah.
Because they make me feel like I know what I'm talking about more.
You do. You know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's skip over TV talk. Do we have any rumors?
No rumors this week.
Let's get right to the news then.
know,
What do
I
you
got so
got?
upset.
I'm going to let Greg take the reins today.
I do.
What do you got for me?
Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
We're starting with some Captain America Civil War news because we know a trailer dropped for the movie.
We know
But
it.
we got a bunch of quotes from a bunch of the actors in the film itself.
Cool.
So we went through. They had like interviews with Chris Evans, Anthony Mackie, Scarlett Johansson, and there was one more. Oh, Elizabeth Olsen, which I thought that was a weird one.
That's a weird one.
I would never quote Elizabeth Olsen, but like we got quotes. So obviously Anthony Russo's directing and blah blah blah. So they were talking about everything. Okay, I can't
Just
see in
Anthony,
these glasses.
the Russo brothers, or is it literally
Just well, the Russo brothers are directing, but Anthony Russo did the interview.
Okay.
That's what I want to point that out. I don't know if that makes a difference. But
Sure. It makes it makes a difference to me.
it does, right?
It does.
That's why I said it. Okay, so Winter Soldier writers Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely also returned for Civil War, and in the comic Civil War storyline began with a superhero battle gone wrong in Stamford, Connecticut. Totally different from the movie now. So they asked the differences between the comic books and the movies now, how do you think those will play a part? And they said, well, you can see in the trailer itself, there's a scene specifically where Scarlet Witch cries when they're looking at the destruction of Nova Scotia. He says it plays an interesting way into some people's and even critics' reactions to movies where people are like, oh, you tore down half of New York. Why are we happy about that? We dropped helicarriers in Washington, D.C. You do this and it's great. You save the day. But when you've got to go, you got to go. This is a realistic world and someone's going to go. Stop dropping helicarriers on my fucking head, was his quote. So I think that ultimately determines all the destruction that they've done.
Right.
And it makes it seem more realistic. We were talking about this a little bit on Level Up last night of how this isn't a superhero world.
Right.
It's New York with superheroes in it. And this is what I think would naturally come of their destruction in...
See, I like that
real
because a
world.
lot of people give Marvel shit for being like more fantastical, where they're like DC's where you get your grounded stuff. That's why everyone's, like
it seems
that's why
more,
Batman's coming after Superman. And first of all, like, I don't understand how you can base your argument for that. Now, I love both Marvel and DC. I tend to lean towards Marvel, but I love them all.
That's why we're wearing the shirts that
Right. Yeah.
describe
right.
our brands.
So, but I don't understand how you can lead that argument with. That's why DC's the more grounded universe, and that's why Batman goes after Superman. Stop right there.
Yeah.
You just said the sentence, Batman goes after Superman.
Exactly.
It's automatically not realistic.
Exactly.
So, like, I don't know. I think the take they're going with on, like, the destruction of all these worlds and, like, this group of superpowered humans who have just essentially been running around without a leash.
Literally all over the globe, too. Not just New York.
Right.
They were in China, Nova Scotia.
Right.
And what was the third? And Washington, D.C.
Right. So, I love it, dude. I especially loved Cap's quote. I think it was from this most recent trailer, which we'll get to, where he said, what did he say? It was something to the effect of, like, he was like, yeah, it's not perfect, but I still think it's better left in our hands. It was like, it's something about, like,
Oh, when Tony saw him in the conference room?
Yeah.
I know.
he's like, it's bad,
Yeah.
but it's the least amount of bad as long as we're in control.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like, it would be so much worse. And he's right.
I agree. Yeah, that's the one. I am Team Iron Man just because.
This is why I love this show, because I'm Team Cal.
Yeah, well, it's tough.
I know
it's
it
tough.
is. I know it is.
I love him. I love Cap. I love Chris Evans as Cap. I love everything he's doing. I'm totally understand where he's coming from.
No.
But, like, I can't help but feel like Tony's getting done dirty.
I know.
Like, as soon as Winter Soldier
Every
shows
trailer
up,
that comes out, too, it's just, you feel
it's
so
heartbreaking.
bad.
Yeah,
I
dude,
know.
like the tears in the eyes, and like Tony started all of this.
He did.
None of this was possible without him, and like the emotion that he's going through, like I feel so bad.
I know.
And like it's kind of like Bucky just shows up, and then Cap's just like, "Well, fuck you guys."
Yeah.
Bucky's back, and I'm like, "That's fucked up." I don't like that. And a lot of people were like, well, "There's something to be said about loyalty. He's loyal to his friend." I'm like, so he just drops everyone else that he's been saving the world with?
Yeah.
Like what?
It's a tough struggle. It's a tough battle, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see
it
what
is
happens.
tough.
I'm very scared that it's gonna be so detrimental. I think some people are gonna die in this movie. That
Yeah, sure.
is gonna ruin their friendship forever.
I think so.
That
too.
scares me.
Yeah, like
I don't want them
yeah.
to never be friends again. I think they'll be allies again, but I
yeah,
don't
they
think
might
they'll
not
ever
be
friends.
friends.
That sucks.
They're gonna come together, I think.
That sucks.
See, the thing is, a while back we heard about re-upping on contracts. We usually get details about that.
Yeah.
We haven't got details
We
about
never.
that.
Yeah, we never did.
I don't know what
Chris Evans got re-upped too.
He said he wanted to.
Yeah.
He never said if he did
Oh, if
or
it
how
was
many.
confirmed, yeah,
I know Robert Downey was talking about it. He's like, yeah, we're working on a new deal. They never said how many films he's locked in for anymore. So, like, anything can happen. I have no
crazy.
idea.
It's crazy. We have a couple more quotes here. So this was an interview with with Anthony Mackie, aka Falcon. And he said this. I just thought this was a really cool quote because he had no idea about his character in the movie. So this is how tightly lipped Marvel keeps secrets. The question was, so when you filmed the last scene in Age of Ultron, you had no idea of the context at all to the rest of the movie. And he said, I had no idea. I flew in, Chris and Scarlett are up on the top, and the rest of us are standing there. It was like, cut, Anthony fly in, action, okay, cut, bye. And he goes, they gave me no script, nothing else. And then 6 months later, you find out that it's about to start the premiere for all the Civil War trailers. Is the scene with him, Bucky, and Cap.
Sure.
How crazy is that?
Yeah, that's insane.
He has no idea what the hell's going on. I thought that was crazy. And he's like, I'm just so... He said, he goes on to say, like, I'm so excited to be part of these movies, blah, blah, blah. Like, all
so the scene in Civil War, they called him in the shop before the movie production started?
Yeah.
And then
that was the first scene they shot of Civil War. So I thought that was a nice little Easter egg. And then I thought that was cool, too, because, like, they don't tell even the actors anything at all.
He recently said...
That's crazy.
I don't know if you have this from him, but he also recently said... We might have talked about it here. I was like... He didn't even know he was going to become an Avenger until the end... Until Age of Ultron came out in theaters.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he was sitting in theaters watching the movie and he was like, oh shit!
Yeah, he was like, oh, well,
I'm an Avenger! Yeah, that's amazing.
I don't know if they just don't tell him stuff, because he does have a big mouth.
He does have a big mouth.
He's very, very
I like him a lot, though.
Oh my god, I love him so much. I also have another quote here. This is once again from Anthony Russo. And this is talking about Black Panther and how it's not easy for him to definitively take a side. Cool. Even though we see him with Team Iron Man.
Right.
So he said, I think the difference in him, speaking about Black Panther, is that he's a ruler of a country. That's the difference. I wouldn't even call him a superhero. In the mythology of the country, he's not a superhero. He's a warrior, and it's part of their tradition. Coming from him as a character itself, he's from Wakanda. So everyone's always asking when he shows up in our world, who the hell is that masked guy and why is he running on all fours? Mm-hmm. Everybody knows him and they expect that it's him. They pray to God, and I think that's a really cool aspect that he's bringing to this this movie is the religion aspect of his powers and how it's a tradition that we haven't seen yet throughout any of the other characters. He's very much to me, I thought that was a cool quote because he's very much to me like Daredevil almost.
Sure.
Like whereas Daredevil's beliefs push him and motivate him to do heroic things,
right?
He is part of religion. Like his costume, all of his mythos and everything is from their tradition, from their village in Wakanda.
Right.
Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy. There's a lot of cool stuff that's coming.
And he looks amazing.
He looks fantastic.
Yeah, he looks so good.
I don't know how deep into the woods they're going to get with him in this particular movie. I don't know if they're going to save all of that for his spinoff, but it's awesome because his father, T'Chaka, his name is T'Challa. His father's name was T'Chaka.
That's the same ever.
It's rad.
That's awesome.
And he was like the Black Panther. So like of everyone down the line who had taken up the mantle of Black Panther in Wakanda, T'Chaka is highly regarded as like the Black Panther.
The Black Panther.
He's the one you want to be like. He's the one who said everything.
He's the role
straight.
model
so,
of the
like,
Black Panthers.
T'Challa, his son, is the one coming after him, taking up the mantle. So like he's got so much to live up to. I don't know if they're gonna play into that. And then like
that's a lot of weight on his shoulders.
Yeah, and the actual like process of being deemed worthy enough is like they put them through rigorous, like it's hell, dude. What the shit he goes through in the comics to actually finally be deemed worthy enough to take up the mantle of Black Panther is like it's crazy. I hope they give us a little bit of that in this. Even if they wait to expand on it more into his own film. Like,
but give like little hints.
They gotta talk about
stuff.
it.
I feel like he's gonna be very, very hard on himself as a character, and that's why I like to compare them both to him to Matt Murdock as Daredevil because he's so hard on himself and everything that he does. He only has to talk about it with himself, and then he goes to church and he has to confess all of his sins.
Right.
But like he knows he's doing good, or at least I hope he does. But that's the struggle. That's the conflict of.
He's gonna be a sleeper hit, man. He's gonna be that character that like.
I think a lot of people
who aren't Marvel fans are gonna walk in and be like, "Oh, he's cool, another hero." And then by the end of the movie, they're gonna like Black Panther shirts, Black Panther action figures. He's gonna knock it out of the park.
He's already kind of everywhere. He was on the front of Empire with Cap and Iron Man, which is crazy. This is another quote. This is from Christopher Marcus, one of the co-writers now. So we switch over from Anthony Russo. This is a quote about not Scarlett. I always do that because her name's Scarlett Johansson. Yeah. Black Widow is the character they're talking about. He says it's difficult because she's not trained to take sides. She's trained to be a duplicitous double agent and have loyalties for sale. Obviously, she's well on her way to not being that person, but it's still standing up next to someone and taking a side and going, no, I believe in this, is to counter her nature. So in a way, it's almost the toughest for her than anybody to go, this is my side and I'm sticking to it. Obviously, in the trailers and stuff, we're aligning her more with Team Iron Man. But we made some strong choices with Natasha in this movie, and it's a very tricky arc that she has to play in this film. And it's something that you always want to surprise people. I'm just going to state this. You don't want to make choices that are easy, and you will be very surprised by Black Widow's arc in this film.
That's awesome.
That's insane.
Well,
I was always iffy on Black Widow, because, like, I know she's a double agent.
Right.
That's her job.
We'll talk about when we get to the time where we want to talk about the trailer. I have some things I want to say.
Isn't that crazy though?
Yeah.
And he's basically we know there are a lot of surprises in this movie.
There's
but like
things in this trailer
I don't know,
particularly really kind of show you that like she's got much more going on than
100%
than is told.
She has like her own dilemmas and stuff that she's dealing with too.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that.
Especially because Hulk's not going to be in this movie, and their love affair. Like, what happened with that now? Like, where
That's
are they?
kind of my
Do you have a space phone?
Right.
Like, how does that work?
That's well. I took it. Him leaving. I took as at the end of that was him being like, "Yeah, I'm out. Like, we can't do this."
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I guess so.
But
So like, is the definitive end for them?
I felt like that. That's what that was. Maybe not.
I'd be happy. I'm not a shipper of them personally.
Right.
I don't like bloke.
I'm wondering if, even though there's all these people, Thor, Hulk, they said are not showing up. I'm wondering if like maybe they show up.
You think?
I feel like movies.
If they did though, they'd have to be at the end.
Maybe not, dude.
That'd be terrifying.
Maybe
though.
Thor dropped in and he's like, enough. And then everyone's like, yo, Thor's here.
You're like,
So like, I don't know. I think it's misused like properties that like
Yeah.
anytime these superhero movies have all these characters and like that would be a huge surprise. That's something
God, that'd be
no one's
crazy.
expecting.
No.
It's something they haven't teased at all.
I know.
So they just like dropped like
Or if you just saw Hulk running,
right.
like from behind the airport,
Right.
when he calls, well, we'll find out.
Yeah, like I just think I mean there's a lot going on. I understand
crazy.
if they want to keep it a little smaller and not that fantastical, but it's like it would be
Utilize
cool.
the characters you have.
Yeah, you have it, dude.
Yeah.
Like why not surprise everybody?
Next up, switching gears from Civil War. Fox's Deadpool movie has broken into the top 10 of lifetime gross at the U.S. box office among comic book adaptations.
It's unbelievable.
This is crazy. Deadpool has now taken more than Iron Man, Iron Man 2, Man of Steel, and is closing in on Guardians of the Galaxy and even Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy.
Wow.
It is currently grossed over, or when it had its biggest opening weekend for an R-rated movie, it made over $700 million worldwide. How crazy is that?
That's insane. I
Deadpool.
cannot believe it.
Of all characters,
I would have never in a million years predicted this kind of success. for
How
them.
does that happen?
So happy for them though.
Oh, well, phenomenal! Like,
Happy for them, happy for us.
yeah,
It can only mean you're already seeing it.
yeah,
The rated R Batman vs Superman Blu-ray
Yeah.
edition. Now they're talking about doing Wolverine.
Yeah.
It's the immediate
the
chain
influence
reaction
is there. Yeah,
took off, man. It's like everyone sees like, oh shit, we can get away with this,
yeah.
and then they go running off to the
I
races.
guess so. It takes the bold person in order to influence everybody else. And then, as you know, of course, the sequel's been greenlit already as well. And that should be coming sometime whenever they can fit that in. Because they're not online with Marvel's release schedule, right? I know
No.
they have, like, the coinciding
you
deal
talking
with
about
some of
Fox?
the characters. Yeah.
No, Fox
Fox
is
can
not.
just release whenever. Like, they can
Fox,
put this up against Civil War 2.
I don't know
if
that
wanted.
I don't know that they do have a coinciding deal with Marvel.
I don't know how the release schedule works. Like, I don't know if they were allowed to pit a Fox movie against
Right.
a Marvel movie. I don't think they would.
When
'cause they
does
would be
X-Men
stupid.
come out? Probably
X-Men is-
after. Well, after Civil War, I would imagine.
Yeah. May is Civil War. I think Apocalypse is the first of the summer movies in June or July.
I was gonna say June.
Yeah. I think it's like middle of June.
So maybe not. I
Yeah.
don't know though. Honestly, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah. I didn't know if you knew that. I just wanted to ask. Next up, in the new Spider-Man reboot, starring Tom Holland as Spider-Man, Zendaya has been cast also in the film. She's an actress and a singer, if you don't know who she is, and she's very known for her role on Disney Channel in the show Shake It Up. I know
Never saw it.
you're a fan of the Shake It Up.
Huge
team.
fan. I love to shake it up.
She's also been in her other known roles, Casey Undercover,
Never heard of it.
Madeline in London.
That's my favorite.
For real?
Never heard of it.
Well, that's only things you know her from. She will be playing a character named Michelle, according to Deadline. So this is technically a rumor, but I didn't want to put it in a rumor roundup because she is in the movie. Although no other details are known, it's possible, and everyone's speculating, that she could be portraying a character known as Michelle Gonzalez. She appeared in the first Amazing Spider-Man, and later became Peter Parker's roommate and possible love interest.
The first Amazing Spider-Man in the comic?
First, The Amazing Spider-Man... Oh, I'm sorry, I misread that. First appeared in The Amazing Spider-Man issue number 592, not the
Okay.
first issue of The Amazing
Sure.
Spider-Man.
Man, do you
Yeah.
have, they have her...
That's her picture.
Mm,
Yeah, I don't know how you feel about that.
I feel like it's I feel like
I don't know if they have another
there's a smoke screen going on here. I feel like
You think
they're
she's just gonna play someone
I
random?
think she's gonna be someone else. No, I think they're positioning her as playing someone random, like Michelle, which is some small character, his roommate from the comics.
Okay.
I think there's a possibility she might be going to be somebody else.
Who would you think she would be?
I'm kind of getting Felicia vibes from her. Black Cat.
Ooh, okay.
She's got that sass.
She has a lanky body, too.
It's a reach. It totally could be not. She could just be her...
Well, do you think... The reason why I like this
but...
casting a lot and the rumor about the casting is, do you think we're not going to get a Mary Jane or a Gwen?
I think eventually we will. I don't think right off the bat, though.
But I don't want a Michelle.
No, me neither. And he is...
That's what sucked about the Dark Knight trilogies. We had Rachel.
That, like, he dates, like, throughout the history of...
Oh,
this,
yeah.
I have this Spider-Man encyclopedia, of course.
Yeah.
That has, like, all these women, like, Betty Brant stuff.
Yeah.
The Daily Bugle. There's tons of girls that, like...
I remember Betty.
That were in... Yeah, she was
That's
played...
my
Elizabeth Banks played her.
For real?
In the Sam Raimi trilogy. Yeah, she was always sitting... She sat out front
Oh
of
my god,
yeah.
yeah. Elizabeth Banks, I feel like, is in everything.
She's everywhere. Anymore, yeah, she's everywhere.
Yeah, she's kind of perfect, though.
But that's cool. I like the age that they're really sticking with him being like a young Spider-Man as he is in some of the more famous comics.
She's his age. They both come from Disney Channel backgrounds, which is cool. I wonder if he helped her get the job.
I'm feeling this Tom Holland.
Me too.
Choice,
I like
man.
him. I like him.
I don't know him from anything else.
No.
I'm just feeling like it was a good way to go.
He's a gymnast.
Yeah.
He's flexible.
Yeah.
He's bringing
just
his friends
the one
along.
Line,
what a good kid.
We'll talk about it in the trailer, but just from the one line he says, the way he delivers it is very dry.
Okay.
I love that. Dry is my sense of humor. And like Spider-Man,
that's true.
Spider-Man can either be played like really like, you know, like I don't know what's the word for, like charismatic and like
witty and
clever.
Like,
but he could also be like, it could be funny and witty, but like no one ever really thinks about like maybe he's just like super sarcastic and super dry with it. You know what I mean?
I like that they do that with him, especially for this iteration, because I feel like he's going to be more closely aligned with Tony.
Right.
Like, that's how Tony's humor is. Robert Downey Jr. crushes the
Exactly.
sarcastic, like dry humor.
So like
I feel like he's kind of taking.
We've only got that one line to go by.
True.
But
which might not even be the line in that scene.
It might not be.
Yeah.
Well, I keep getting ahead.
I know.
I can't wait to talk
we
about
get
it.
excited. We get excited. We're gonna break down the whole trailer for you guys, but I had to throw out some quotes and news and stuff.
Sure.
The last of the Marvel moves. Last of the Marvel news today. An anonymous sword from the set of Guardians Volume 2. We just found out Sylvester Stallone. We didn't know if he was in the movie, so this is like a follow-up on the rumor from last week.
Okay.
So Stallone was indeed in the movie, is what the person's saying.
Uh-huh.
He's been filming scenes in a costume that looks a lot like Judge Dredd.
Mm-hmm.
Additionally...
Dredd.
Or Judge Dredd, I'm sorry. I got very excited. I thought of Grodd, and then I was like, what? Gorilla Grodd is who I was thinking of. I'm wearing a flash shirt. Please get over it. I said Judge Dredd.
It was, I don't know if this is in there, but it was later, I think, confirmed that he's playing a Ravager.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
That's confirmed?
Yeah, I believe so. This was out after this came out.
Dirty bastard.
Yeah, I read this, and then just recently I read something about...
Oh, so this is like today's news?
This one?
No, like your news?
My news is
like
recent.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
so this is maybe an old one then.
He was, yeah, I read that, and then later they had said he was playing a Ravager. They don't say who, how important this particular Ravager will be, his name or anything like that, but yeah, one of the members of the Ravagers that Yondu and the director James Gunn's brother actually played the like his right hand man. Just playing one of them.
That's crazy.
Apparently, that's what they say.
Additionally, it goes on to say that in the scene with Judge Dredd, not Judge Dredd, in the scene with Judge Dredd, he was shooting a scene with none other than Howard the Duck.
Yeah.
And
Howard
making
the Duck
a
is coming
cameo. The infamous Marvel character might return following his post-credits cameo in the first film.
I really hope not.
I don't know why that's like a thing that people... Do
Howard
people
the Duck
want that?
is fucking stupid.
Do they want that, though?
I'm sure...
I mean, I guess with Rocket Raccoon...
Somebody out there probably wants that. I'm not him.
I'm not Howard the Duck.
I don't want it. But, I mean, if it's just, like, some random, like, one quick scene, fine. I'm not looking for them to, like, spin off, like, here's that Howard the Duck remake you always wanted. Like, don't, Marvel. That would be the first Marvel.
That's what I mean, yeah.
So, like, please.
The first, too. They're really good about that stuff.
Yeah.
I lied to you guys. This isn't the last bit of Marvel news. I forgot that we had this one. Luke Cage, lead actor, Mike Coulter, has revealed, possibly, I don't know if they're going to change it now, but he kind of ixnayed on the premiere date for a little show known as Luke Cage on Netflix. And he was in it, tweeting out, he was at New York City at the premiere of Daredevil on March 10th. And in an interview, they were like, oh, are you excited for any upcoming projects you have? And he said, of course, Luke Cage is premiering on September 30th. And they were like, it's what now? And he said, it's a show that I'm doing, and tried to back to it, but he gave a date.
It's over,
So September 30th, we could possibly be getting a whole season 1 of Luke Cage,
That's
which is
awesome.
crazy to think about.
Super soon after Daredevil.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it would be coming. That'd be 2 big Marvel Netflix shows.
That's awesome.
Jessica Jones season 2, we don't have a confirmed date on, I don't believe.
No, but now they're rumoring a Luke Cage, Iron Fist team-up series.
Well, Jessica
as
Jones has to appear in his show, I would imagine.
I would hope so. I'm waiting for them.
He was
I
very
need them to
closely tied.
start,
Merging, yeah.
Let's get it going. Let's stop playing coy.
That was your biggest gripe with Jessica Jones season 1, is that we didn't see Daredevil.
One of my only gripes, in fact. But Daredevil, there's going to be a lot going on. They have Elektra, Punisher, awesome, introducing new characters. By the end of that show, he needs to have met someone.
Either Jessica or
Jones
Luke,
or Luke,
Iron, someone. Yeah.
Sure, like
Judge Dredd.
even if it's
Honestly,
even if it's the last scene in the last episode, like it's time to start seeding it through.
Honestly, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like you said before with Civil War, like threading all these characters and just utilize them.
Yeah,
Like,
that'll
have them
be
at your
the
disposal.
third Marvel Netflix series. Like it's past time, guys.
Yeah.
They should have started in Jessica Jones if they're really trying to do this Defenders thing, which they clearly are.
Yeah, that's set in stone that's coming. Not a premiere date yet, but that's set in stone that's
Tell you what,
happening.
Daredevil's gonna be great no matter what.
Oh, Daredevil season 2 is gonna fucking kill it.
Can't wait.
Switching over to DC news, ladies and gents. This made me a little upset, this news story, because I'm a fan of this.
Okay.
If it could happen still.
Okay.
Harley Quinn almost had her original costume in the Suicide Squad movie. Actress Margot Robbie was in an interview with Hello Giggles, which is, I don't know what reputable source that is. But she said, we tried out every variation of her costume from the animated television show all the way up until the very recent Arkham games. I cannot emphasize enough how many outfits and how many variations of Harley Quinn costumes we tried. We tried the Court Jester costume, which if you guys don't know is her very iconic half black, half red with the white thing and the white pom-poms.
Sure.
It's like her animated outfit. And she said, we tried the corset, the skirt, we tried leather pants, we tried literally every other type of costume possible for her. And I really love where we ended up with it. She kind of has like a dyed hair blue-red vibe going on. And she's like, I felt like for this movie, it had to be something different and unique, especially in a live-action interpretation of the character. Which I don't think we've gotten a live-action Harley Quinn the more I was thinking about it. Besides...
Never. Besides the tease in Arrow.
Yeah, but they don't
you
count.
don't see her.
That's what I mean.
But, nice.
All we hear is the giggle, right?
It was no, she says, she has some kind of a line.
Does she say Mr. J?
No, she says something like, you want to let me out of here?
Yeah,
it's like some kind of quick line like that.
But it's like a...
But it was the original voice actress for Harley Quinn that they got for Arrow, which was fucking awesome.
Oh, that's insane.
That was great.
So what are your thoughts on the Harley Quinn costume? I would have preferred I would have just preferred they go for it.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm excited to see what Margot Robbie does. I think she's going to nail it as Harley Quinn.
She's going to be the best part of that movie, I bet you anything.
She's going to be a highlight, for sure, yeah. Her and Joe, it's going to be really tough for the rest of the squad with her and the Joker in
That's
there.
What I mean.
It's going to be everyone's center of attention. But
I hope Jared Leto crushes it.
Yeah, she's it's okay. I was never married to it when they first premiered the way she looked. I think we'll see an evolution for sure in her costume. Yeah. I would have liked the animated one personally. Yeah. Something a little, even if they couldn't do exactly that, I understand.
That being said, I like the look that they ended up with for her.
Yeah, it's cool.
I think she looks.
It makes sense for that universe.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess for her to break out of the mental institution and then put on a leather suit, that she zips up and then paints her face white, everyone would be like, okay, you're freaking crazy.
I would have think it would have made a little bit more sense, and I feel like I kind of would have preferred it if she wound up wearing the nurse's uniform, like from Arkham City.
Oh, the Harleen Quinzel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's awesome.
I feel like that would have been great.
That one's awesome.
She was breaking out of a mental hospital, and she just snatched her nurse's uniform.
And that's what she
that
is,
would have made perfect sense.
With her clipboard holding it around and stuff, that would have totally fit that character. But like you said, we could see many more narrations. Sure. So this isn't the nail in the coffin for my Harley Quinn dreams on live action.
No, it's Margot Robbie. She looks great.
Yeah,
she looks great. Well, what are you gonna do?
Let's be honest. She's absolutely stunning, Margot Robbie, if I'm being completely honest with you. I really do think she's going to be one of the highlights of the movie. In the trailer itself, she's one of the things that I laugh at the most. Mm-hmm. And the more I'm thinking about it now, I'm like, they went all out with Joker.
Yeah.
Like, they should have just gone all out with Harley, too. But anyway, moving on. Justice League. This is a surprising casting choice, ladies and gents. J.K. Simmons.
Oh, yes.
Is set to play Commissioner Gordon, which is a total departure from his previous role, as you guys might remember from the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy. He is just... I don't even know how this came about. I think he was promoting himself to be in a new Marvel movie, and then I think DC just snatched him up.
It's a shame... I don't think he would have ever been Jameson again.
Oh yeah, that's who he played Jonah Jameson.
Right, because he was literally and the whole run of all this Marvel stuff, even the ones that weren't really attached to Sony's Spider-Man films, everything, as far as character from comic to screen, J.K. Simmons, J. Jonah Jameson is the only one that was 100% flawless.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
He was
That
Jameson.
guy. Yeah, he was.
You know, and like, it's a shame because like I would have loved to see them reuse him.
Yeah.
In the next Spider-Man run with Tom Holland, but I get it. They weren't going to. They want to make sure everyone knows that this is not the same as that. This is not.
Because then
the
they
same
could
as
have just.
Andrew
They
Garfield's.
could. You can't pull threads like that.
Right,
That's
and they
too
want to
much.
know that like this is a new universe for Spider-Man. It's not Sam Raimi's. It's not Mark Webb's.
Yeah.
It's new. I get it. That said, this is cool, man. I'm
Yeah.
excited. I'm
It's
excited
gotta
to
be-
see him
yeah.
as Gordon.
What's cool is that we finally have Commissioner Gordon nailed down too. We didn't have his casting at all, and I was wondering for the longest time if he was even going to be in the movie. So I think it's cool that they put. He's an Oscar-winning actor.
He's in great
that
shape
crazy?
too. So I'm wondering if they're going to see him more
I haven't seen any
active
recent
Gordon.
stuff of him.
You get a glimpse of it in when he was in Whiplash. He's like kind of jacked.
Oh my god, I forgot.
For an
he was
older
in
guy,
Whiplash.
like he's in good shape.
Oh, he's just completely different look-wise.
So
than
like he
Whiplash.
could, yeah. So he could totally be like more active, like on the field, like
Yeah.
Jim Gordon. You know what I mean?
I would be happy with that.
I'm excited to see where they go with that. I'm a big fan of that casting choice personally.
I'm excited to see his portrayal for sure. And now he's in a different superhero universe as well.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to play the asshole now. Now he gets to kind of play like the endearing, kind of loving commissioner.
Maybe he's an asshole. Maybe Jim Gordon's just a total
It's
asshole.
Jonah Jameson as Commissioner Gordon. I'd be okay with that. Following this news, ladies and gentlemen, my favorite piece of Batman vs Superman news this week. We got a screenshot from Warner Brothers community survey that was posted on Reddit. This leaked, I would assume. I don't think they wanted this information to go out there, but it asked fans, who would you like to see featured in the marketing for Dawn of Justice? On the survey, they list all the characters with the characters that they're playing in the film. So I'll give you an example. Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor, Henry Cavill as Clark Kent / Superman, and so on and so forth.
He's playing both.
Yeah,
Great. Good to know.
But I'm saying, but this is important because listen to the next part. It's important to note that Gordon's superhero alias is listed on here. We get Barbara Gordon as Jenna Malone. This is the female actress who was in the Hunger Games movies, the one that we were been speculating who her character was going to be for the longest time.
Right.
I've been vying for her to be Batgirl. She has the red hair, she has a fierce personality, her body type is perfect for it. Suit her up. But on the survey, she's only listed Jenna Malone as Barbara Gordon, not Barbara Gordon / Batgirl.
Right.
So I find that a little intriguing. We already had Zack Snyder come out and say, we don't have Batgirl or Robin in this movie. And Jenna Malone's scenes have already been cut into the R-rated director's cut onto the DVD. So what do we think about this? Do we think we're going to see Oracle, Barbara Gordon, Batgirl?
Sure. I really don't know.
It's
I really
scary.
don't. I don't even have a guess. I guess we'll see what happens when the Blu-ray comes out. You know.
I just hope her
almost
scene
more
isn't
fucking
pivotal.
excited for this Blu-ray than the coming.
I
theaters.
know, me too.
I want to see this goddamn Blu-ray now.
They cut so much.
They shouldn't have talked about it until
I
the movie came out in
know.
theaters. Because now I'm like, fuck it, release the Blu-ray.
Especially because my favorite live-action superhero, as we all know, she's right below me here on the screen, is Batgirl. She's everything Batman is, but then strong for females and just awesome. She's like a tech guru too. That's what I love about her. She's very into her gadgets.
I don't think. Now this may be my personal bias speaking a little bit here. I don't think she's everything Batman is. Yeah, all the
Batman's still the
sidekicks
best.
are like
here.
They're almost there.
No, that's what I love
Batman's
about the
always
side.
got that like.
Let me rephrase.
You know what I mean?
Batman's at the top always.
Yeah.
But what I love about all of his sidekicks and all of the Bat family members is they all take one of his branches and they explore that further.
Sure. Yeah, that's a really good point.
So Batgirl takes all of his gadgets, gizmos, and tech stuff, and I feel like that's her realm, and that's my favorite part of Batman is all the cool high-tech gear and stuff that he gets.
I agree.
Robin is more like, to me, he's more of like the justice will be served kind of vigilante.
Sure.
And then Nightwing, I feel, takes all the combat and martial arts parts of
gonna say, I
Batman,
feel
and Nightwing becomes like the combat.
Yeah,
aspect
Nightwing
of it.
totally has a lot of his fighting style.
Altogether, the Bat family makes up who Batman is, but they all explore it further than he does because he has to be everything.
Right.
Obviously, he's Batman.
Plus the investigator, detective.
Yeah, the detective. I don't really know who takes up.
I always fucking love. That's what makes him unique.
That's what makes him
He's the
different,
world's
yeah.
greatest detective.
Yeah.
It's I love when the villains, like in the Arkham games, when the Riddler always refers to him as detective.
Yeah.
I'm like, I always forget he is a detective.
Yeah.
He's the fucking best detective.
That's what I love about the scenes with Barbara or with Dick in the Arkham games when they're like, Bruce, like, how's Bruce doing? They never reference him as Batman, and that makes me feel so much like they're a family, and it gets me so happy. Like, these kids are all orphaned, and Bruce Wayne takes them all in. That's what makes him the best guy ever. Like, he knows what being orphaned feels like, obviously. Speaking of which, I also recently watched, again, on Netflix, the Flash Paradox, Justice League Flash Paradox, and I totally forgot about the whole Martha Wayne storyline about her becoming the Joker. I love that.
I forgot about that too.
I love that whole
I gotta
storyline.
rewatch that.
She literally, because in Earth 1, when they switch over to Earth 1, Bruce is the one that dies, and both the parents live.
Right.
So when Thomas walks over to it, he becomes Batman, in a really cool Earth 1 version of Batman with guns. But Martha Wayne has Bruce's blood on her hand, and she puts it on her face, and she starts crying, and she can't handle. Obviously, she's in shock. Her son just died, and she starts laughing, and she looks up, and like the blood made a smile on her face. Her son's blood.
That's awesome.
How crazy dark is
I
that?
watched that once.
Dude.
Really enjoyed it, but I was in the back of Jen's parents' car. We were going to the mountains. It was like 3-hour drive. It was super late at night.
Yeah.
I was half asleep.
Yeah.
And I was like watching it while we were at this rest stop on my iPad in the back seat, and I was like,
Oh no, you have to give
So,
it.
like,
the big
I gotta
shout. Maybe we
rewatch
watched
it.
that today.
I gotta
It was
rewatch
very good, that movie. Oh my god, I just had to give a shout out to that because I thought that was an awesome arc that they did with Martha. All right, so we have some more Batman vs Superman news. Ben Affleck says that Batman in this movie is much inspired by two people. And I thought this quote was very good. I'll read the quote here for you. He said that Batman, it inspires him in the idea that, well, if there's one of these kinds of people out there, then maybe he's talking about Batman himself.
Okay.
If there's one of those kinds of people out there, then maybe there's in fact more to that person than just the cape and the cowl. If there are more things to this person, then maybe that's a hopeful thing, and that's also terrifying to him, though. You've seen in the trailer a Robin costume, which has been kind of torn and shredded up and even defamed. Maybe Robin is one of the people that's inspiring Batman in this movie. You've also got to remember that Batman is the world's greatest detective. And if he suspects that there may be more to a situation, he's going to suspect somebody in particular in this film. And as the world's greatest detective, he's very much also inspired by Diana, as trying to figure out if she's Wonder Woman or not, because she doesn't come out and say that at first, which could harken back to the scene where we see them at the ball.
I think he's gonna nail everybody.
I feel like he has to.
I think he's gonna nail who Clark is. He's gonna nail Diana is, and they're gonna be like,
He has
fuck.
to. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Gal Gadot's gonna walk in the mall and be like, "Shit, I am Wonder Woman." Like, damn it. I thought that was a really cool quote though,
Do you
because now
have the
Robin
story about the other Justice League members, by any chance?
the Flash and Aquaman. I have that.
I think that might be it.
Okay, so I have that. Yeah. So then I thought that was a really cool quote because I like that he's inspired by Robin, but I also thought that was an interesting point to make because then Robin might be dead then.
I think Robin is dead. Yeah.
If he's inspired by this character,
Right.
and he still has the defamed, like that's like his symbol to be like, I fucked up. Like,
Right.
now I have to do this for you.
Right.
It's almost like taking up his mantle rather than Robin doing that.
I really, really hope. I'm fine with him, even if they don't ever give him another Robin. I really think it would be a huge missed opportunity if they don't at least give you like a little flashback of him and a Robin,
Yeah.
like fighting or something.
Well, we already knew about the
Something.
death, right? Because doesn't he see it on the newspaper?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we knew about the death.
Was
The
it
death is
like the last time we saw Batman and Robin in live action was in the shitty
George Clooney,
Schumacher films.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like
Was that really the last time we
give
got
that
live action
character
Batman
some
and Robin?
justice, dude. Like
Yeah.
you could
No pun
If
intended.
it's, I know if it is a flashback, right, and they're not intending to use him again, you could cast
Anyway.
whoever you want.
Anyway.
Like somebody great, just a great thing. Like
Yeah.
just flashback to him and Robin, dude.
That's why Zack Snyder's Snum
Give him a
made
fight
so much
scene,
sense
give
in
him
the
some
film.
dialogue, and
Yeah.
then be like, "There's your Robin for
You're
this
welcome.
universe."
Yeah.
Who would you cast
As Robin?
to play next to Ben
Oh my
Affleck as
God.
Robin? That's a tough
I
one.
really I love him as an actor. I think he's a better actor than his older brother Steven Amell. I
You
would
think you
pick
could play
Robbie
Robin?
Amell. I would pick Robbie Amell for Robin.
I wouldn't pick him.
Really?
He's not Robin.
I feel like he fits Robin so well.
No.
The face, the hair, everything about him. He's like a very mature, like well put together kid that gets taken by this guy who has to train him to be like the opposite of what he is.
Zac Efron.
No,
Yeah.
Zac Efron is. I could see Zac Efron as Nightwing.
That's what I'm going. That's what I'm.
Oh, you're picturing older.
I'm
Zac.
picturing how he would have wound up and bringing him younger to Robin. But if they're doing like a Tim Drake Robin,
Yeah.
which it looks like, because the Robin suit is fucking looks like someone
It looks
was
like it's
jacked
the Bill. Yeah,
who was wearing
yeah.
it. Come on,
Zac Efron's
Zac
better,
Efron's
too.
in way better shape than fucking Robbie Amell, and he's
He
way
has more
better.
star appeal too.
Yeah.
Way better.
That's what I'm talking about. Like someone,
Yeah.
I want someone big, like somebody like. holy shit! Like they just put
That's
him as
fucking
Robin.
Robin, yeah.
You're never gonna see him again. So like,
That's
just
true.
go for it. Why
That's
not?
true. I hope they do another Robin in the universe though.
I think Zac Efron has a way better shot at playing next to Ben.
Oh,
Affleck
then Robbie
than
Amell,
Robbie
yeah.
Amell.
I just really like Robbie Amell as an actor, and I feel like he never gets good roles ever.
I don't like him that much.
Really?
That was why I kind of strayed away.
Well, do you
from
know you didn't watch like I watched him growing up, like on Disney
No,
Channel, like
never.
Disney XD and stuff. So he's been in a bunch of shows that I've seen,
Okay.
and he's always stood out to me as like you don't belong on Disney Channel, like
Sure.
you don't belong here at all. And then he had a very small part in the Showtime show I recently watched, and I was like, wow, like he's awesome. Like it was just like a one episode thing. And then even when he plays, I think he played a very emotional episode on Law and Order, and that's what I always reference him back to, because he got very emotional in that episode, and it's hard to come in on Law and Order.
That's true.
If I'm being honest,
I think there's better choices than Zac Efron too, honestly. But I think
off the top of our heads, we'll go
something about Zac Efron, like I feel like there's a missed opportunity there.
Yeah.
Like he's not getting the types of movies that I feel like he could do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Dude's in good shape. He's funny.
Yeah, he's hysterical.
I always thought Zac Efron was a douchebag until
No,
I saw
he's
fucking
hysterical.
17 again.
Oh, such.
I was like, whoa, that kid's funny, dude.
Yeah,
He
that's a
made me
really good
laugh.
movie. I forget he's in that.
And so, like, I feel like I'm waiting for him to get introduced into one of these universes.
Mm-hmm.
You know? 'Cause he's,
You see him more in the
he's
DC
a
side
shitty
of things
grandpa
other than
movie,
Marvel.
and I'm like,
Yeah, bad grandpa.
give him a break.
I know.
I don't know. That's a good question.
You know,
Somewhere in there. Give him something.
just any hero.
Yeah, give him
I
something.
could see it. I could see him fitting in that realm though.
Even that's the thing, like, that size of a role where, like, they're just going to kind of one and done it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why not Zac Efron for that?
Yeah. I like him as a Nightwing.
Yeah.
A lot.
I could
Because I
see
feel
him
like
as
he
Nightwing.
totally fits Nightwing like a lot. With the Christmas stick style. Okay. Next quote from Batman vs Superman Ben Affleck in the same interview. He said he's bitterly disappointed in the past that he's lost this guy who fought by his side. It was a character that he trained. And to lose somebody like this is devastating to him. He suffered so much. This is like losing a family member to this guy. We get the sense that he suffered a lot from devastating losses before this, even before the movie begins, but nothing to the effect of who Robin was to this guy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like it has to be Dick Grayson then.
It sounds like it.
Right? Like, I feel like it can't be a Tim Drake only because, like, obviously this is the first kid he orphaned. If they want to go that route, I guess they could pull from anything and just say they knew him
Right.
a long time. But
They could play up on that, like, the only one who's ever, like, a son to me kind of aspect if they do Dick.
yeah,
Or they change it around and maybe he adopted Tim or something as a kid. You know,
Yeah.
they could do whatever they want, really.
because I love how in each iteration of Robin, it's always a different aspect. That's what we talked about with the Arkham games so much. Tim Drake is always wanting to, like, become Bruce Wayne.
Right.
Whereas Dick Grayson is kind of like, I do my own thing. And
He's
I
like,
kinda
he's
rock
very
it.
much like, I don't want to be anything like you.
Yeah, he's like, I'm fun. Like, you're too dark for
Yeah.
me. Like, thank you for training me and shit, but, like, I'm going to Bloodhaven.
Yeah.
I love that aspect of all of the different Robins. Never do a female Robin, though.
That was the coolest part of. Did you ever wind up seeing Bad Blood?
Yeah, I love Bad Blood.
That was the
newest
coolest
one
thing
just
about
released.
seeing Bad Blood is how he knew he owed it to him to
Yeah.
put on this suit and be.
But
the
it was more
Batman.
like a tribute rather than like wanting
Right.
to become it.
Well, even so, yeah, to Robin. Robin's the like you can never be him, and then like
Yeah.
Dick's like, you think I want to wear this? He's like, I don't want to be this,
Yeah.
but like he knows he owes it to him.
Yeah.
That was a cool aspect.
It's
of
a
that film.
symbol for that city.
Right.
Like you can't lose that ever. We also got some good news switching the TV side of the DC universe. Supergirl has been renewed for season 2, ladies and gentlemen,
Very
and
nice.
your boy is so happy.
That's awesome.
What's really cool is that they're lining up a bunch of different shows, but all of our shows have been renewed now. So they have Supergirl's renewed, Arrow's renewed, Legends of Tomorrow got renewed, which I thought was kind of surprising. So that means it's still doing well ratings-wise. We haven't really heard anything since the big premiere.
Right.
The Flash, obviously, is renewed. It's the best show
Right.
out of all the superhero shows. And then we have the 2 pilots coming for the DC like comic spin-off show, Powerless, and then we also have the Marvel one, which I forget the Marvel one name.
Yeah, I forget as well.
But they deal with like the destruction of the city, and it's kind of like the Office vibe of like.
I don't think either of them are gonna do too well.
Really?
Yeah.
We'll find out, I guess. They're only half an hour like comedy sitcoms, so
Right.
if they don't make it, whatever. But I'm happy all the superhero shows got released. We also got details on the Flash and Supergirl crossover plot description, and I'm so excited. This the only thing that disappoints. Well, let me read the description first,
Okay.
and then I'll tell you what disappoints me. So they released key art, and it totally mirrors who is the fastest man alive. And what it was originally it was Superman next to Flash, but obviously they're switching for Supergirl. So it said who's the fastest person alive. I like the little switch up. I like the dynamic of it being a girl this time. I feel like that's going to make for better stuff. But the episode is called World's Finest, and Kara is going to gain a new ally with the lightning-fast superhero, The Flash, in parentheses, Grant Gustin. That makes me so happy to say that. Suddenly, he appears from an alternate universe and helps Kara battle Siobhan, a.k.a. Silver Banshee, and Livewire in exchange for her to help him find a way to return back to his home. So I'm thinking this is going to be an alternate universe, kind of like Earth 2 in The Flash, and that will kind of close it off from her coming on their show. But I mean, I guess anything's possible.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that made me a little sad about it. But I'm so happy we're going to have Grant Gustin and Melissa Benoist together. They've already posted a bunch of images on both their Instagrams in costume, just like hanging out on set. That makes me so happy.
I think it largely dependent on how well this does. I think if this does super well, I actually hate that fucking poster.
Really?
Hate it, yeah. I get it. They wanted to mimic the comic book cover, but like, I don't know. I'm not a fan. I wish I had it to put in here.
I'm very excited to know, because the big highlight in the comic book was the race between Supergirl and the Flash. They try to, like, they go back and forth with witty banter of, like, who's quicker. Like, can Superman fly quicker than you can run? So I hope they go into that aspect in the show. Like, I don't want him to be running next to Melissa Benoist and her keep up with him, because she's so new to the world, and he's now a Season 2 veteran with his powers.
Right.
So I hope they don't make her, like, too overpowered. I get your Supergirl.
I can't see how she even touches him. He's so fast.
That's what I mean.
Like, when she flies, the last time I watched, she was fast, but like...
She's coming eons.
Really? Faster than the Flash?
Eons. Because John Jones, a.k.a. Martian Manhunter, has taught her flight movements and flight patterns to where her aerodynamicity... That's a word.
Oh, wow.
She flies, like, super quick. Like, she has this propelling force now, so when she flies, she can, like, propel herself even quicker.
That's cool.
Like, she is, like, flying, and then she is, like, super fast flying.
It's like when you see Henry Cavill, like, break the sound barrier in Man of
That's
Steel.
what I mean, yeah. Exactly like that. Yeah, oh my god, that was awesome. Imagine they had Henry Cavill literally come on an episode of Supergirl. I would shit my pants.
That would be cool.
She's like, hey Clark, what's going on? And he's like, oh Carl, what's up? I would shit my pants. We also got some more back to movie news. Jason Momoa's Aquaman and Ezra Miller's The Flash will receive their own standalone films following the release of Justice League Part 1, like we knew, but it's confirmed now that neither of the films will be following their origin stories. So they were quoted by the Wall Street Journal saying, while each of the movies stands alone, they're all part of one long arc of storytelling. So each movie you can see separately, but all in all, they're all going to be building towards the Justice League film that we have in place. Which I thought that was fine. I thought that was smart of them to do.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think they're probably going to address their origins to some degree beforehand. So I think that's totally smart.
Do you think they'll address the origins in... They'll probably just, like, make a nod to it.
I think they'll address one of their origins, maybe. I don't know. I really don't know, because I don't know, like, how much screen time these guys are going to get in this. Yeah. Like, are we going to get, like, the Justice League by the end of this movie? Like, fighting fucking Darkseid? Or not Darkseid, I'm sorry. Doomsday. Yeah. Like... I don't know, dude. I don't know. Like, if everyone's gonna show up and they're not doing origins in their solo films, like, I feel like it's not off the table that by the end of Batman v Superman, like, the Justice League is fighting Doomsday.
The last shot is just them all standing there together.
Yeah, like,
I would be okay with that.
I don't know, dude. It's gonna be really tough. The tricky thing is they
went the opposite way of Marvel. They did the big movie, now they're doing the solo films rather than the solo films to the big movie.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be really hard for them to make this all work together. But I think it's
dumb, personally, but. What am I, the DC fanboy of the show or something?
You think it's dumb the way they're doing it?
I just think it's so dumb to not have, especially when they came out with the news that the Wonder Woman movie is going to be taking place before Batman vs Superman. That's just confusing.
There should have been a Batman movie and there should have been a Wonder Man movie.
A Batman movie with Ben Affleck as Batman should have been totally before Batman vs Superman. Yeah. And now you screwed Henry Cavill out of a proper Superman sequel, in my opinion. Yeah. But that's just me, though. I'm not the head of DC. Final news for DC. Batman vs Superman content is coming to the DC Universe Online game. This comes right off the heels that DC Universe Online is also coming to Xbox One, finally. It took them long enough to get the game. But they revealed that the content will follow the premise of the film, and you will be able to partner up with both Armored Batman as well as Armored Superman and go against the big bads, which that's all they label them as. Obviously, because they didn't spoil them. So yeah, so you also get Wonder Woman costumes, Batman costumes, Superman costumes. You also get their classic comic ensembles from Batman vs Superman, which I think is cool. So they're giving you a bunch of cool swag, and it's awesome now because now you guys can get this on Xbox One as well. So now it's PS4, Xbox One, and PC. So it's on all platforms, and now you have all the content. I can't believe they're still updating that game. Yeah. That game came out forever ago. You literally still have the disc of the game.
I do.
That's crazy.
Yeah, on PS3, and then I play a little bit on PS4 as well.
God rest your soul, child. And that's all for the news, ladies and gents.
I don't see myself going back.
No, neither do I. I just don't have the time I would like to invest in that world. Yeah. I played it. I aligned myself with Batman.
I played it a bunch.
Who'd you align yourself with? Batman.
The PS3 version, Superman, the PS4 version of Batman.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just did PS4 and I did Batman.
Just because I was curious about how there's... Well, I have multiple characters on the servers. So I have some characters that are aligned with him, some characters aligned with Superman. I think I have a couple characters aligned with Wonder Woman just because I wanted to see how it
like mentors differ here.
But yeah, it was cool. That is it for the news.
Yeah.
So for our topic of the week, we did talk about this in the Level Up show. Why don't we talk about this Civil War trailer?
I'm just so excited. I'm so
right.
excited.
Let's get this going here. So it was amazing.
So good.
It was fucking amazing.
So good.
There's so much that we got from this, and I think like my biggest takeaway from this is like the emotion, the character moments. Like, I'm excited for the action as I am with any Marvel movie, but it's these moments we're seeing here, like with Tony and Steve, and like, man, I just can't wait to see what they do. Like, you think Tony was like, all right, this character's been taken as far as he can go.
Yeah.
We've seen all his like sarcasm and stuff. We've seen his highs and his lows, and like, now we're seeing like he's on screen talking to one person he considered to be like one of his best friends, his Avenger, his partner, and like they both like led this team, and like now we're seeing Tony like beat to shit, bloodshot eyes, tears in his eyes.
He's always beaten up in all the trailers,
and like he's looking like just so upset, disappointed to be great. The one line that I really, there was a couple lines from him. First of all, he kind of stole this trailer. His dialogue particularly just stole me for
in this last one.
Yeah. He had a couple of lines that were great, and I love the one that he was like, "I was wrong about you." He's like, "The whole world was wrong about you." I was like, "Fuck, that's deep, man."
I also love at the very end of the trailer when for the very first time I think we've seen in any of the trailers, he finally has Cap on the ropes for once, and it's not him getting bludgeoned in. And he has the suit, he has the beam ready to go, and he goes, "This is it. I'm putting you down. This is your final warning."
Yeah.
And Cap looks at him and he's like, "I could go all day, man," as he's like bleeding from every crevice.
Yeah.
I love that line. It's the very last scene right before they reveal the big Spider-Man.
And he's like so out of breath. You can hear it in the
I know,
suit.
he's like
no, Tony, you can hear him
Tony
in the suit.
the Iron Man suit.
He's like, "Final warning.
Yeah.
Stay down."
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait to see that fucking
God.
fight, dude.
Dude, that whole ending fight sequence, it's going to be all of them. They start off at the airport with them running at each other,
That's
and then I don't know
yeah.
what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen.
I don't know what's going to happen either.
See, right on that flip side of things, though, I'm very excited for the character moments. I think this is the first Marvel movie that's going to make me cry. I know that for a fact.
It's very possible.
And then number two, all the action moments, I think they did so well in this trailer because they pair up all the fights finally of who's gonna go after who. You got Hawkeye and Ant-Man, incredible. He's rolling on Iron Man's shoulder, going after Hawkeye as Hawkeye shooting multiple arrows at him. There's this little guy he's trying to aim for.
No. Ant-Man's on the same side as Hawkeye.
Oh, he's riding the arrows?
Hawkeye's launching Ant-Man towards Iron Man.
Oh, well, this took a total turn.
Yeah, Ant-Man is on Team Cap.
Oh my god, this took a total turn.
Yeah.
Wait, so Black Widow is Team Iron Man then? We don't know yet. I just read the quote.
Well, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So
let's get into Black Widow.
Well, we talked about a little bit.
She's an anomaly.
Right. We talked a little bit about that earlier. So we've been led to believe that she's on Team Iron Man all this time, and then there's the one part of this trailer where Iron Man is all beaten up. It looks like he's a broken arm.
Yeah.
His arm is in a sling.
Yeah, he's in the sling.
And he's like, he just turns. He's like, "You better watch your back." He's like, "They're coming for you." And then she's like, "I'm not the one who should be watching my back." And then she
walks away.
And then Tony just like real disappointed. He's like, "Fuck." So like, what's going on there?
The craziest part about her character is she is even more OG than both Iron Man and Cap. Like, she was with Nick Fury and all of S.H.I.E.L.D. before everything went down.
Yeah.
Then she became really good friends with Tony, and then especially good friends with Steve. So when I saw her aligned with Tony in the beginning, I was like, I don't know, man. Like, she has to be playing a double agent. Like, she's obviously just getting intel for Steve. But then I'm like, I don't know if she's more pissed at Steve now because, like, he's not owning up to all of his actions. Right in the trailer, you see her and she's like, we have to be accountable for what we did. Like, we fucked up. Like, sorry, we did. And he's like, honestly, I feel justified in what I did. Like, all those people lived because of us.
And there was another
strange
moment in a previous trailer where she's warning him. She's like, "Stay out of this."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "I don't see how I can."
Yeah.
So like, what? Yeah, what's going on with her, man? She's like, oh, I don't know, because there's reasons to believe that she's with Tony. She's helped him stay alive. First of all, Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
She was the one who helped bring him the revelation of this new element along with Nick Fury. Like, she saved his life.
Yeah.
There's a connection there. And then I don't believe for one second that moment in Iron Man 2 where she's like sitting on his lap showing him the watches and then it's just them two, and she's like very close. I don't believe for 1 second that she was playing him. I think she was falling into the trap a little bit.
Oh, really? I totally saw that scene as her playing
she was like, think about it though. He was dying at that point. He was a dying man.
That's true.
And she looks him in the eyes, and he's like, what do you do on like your last, if this was your last birthday or something to that effect? And she's like, honestly, I'd do whatever I want to do with whoever I want to do it with. And like, I think that particular moment right there was totally
that
genuine.
line was probably genuine.
I think that was totally genuine. So like,
I don't know. I still see her. I can't picture her having a connection with anybody, and that especially me as a shipper.
Oh sure, I'm not saying that there's a relationship or anything like that.
Yeah,
I'm saying there's moments she shared
where they could be
that I could
more
believe,
than just allies.
I could believe that they're no. I don't think there's anything romantic.
No, not romantic. I mean like friends.
Those more
than just allies, rather than just fighting.
I think the flirtations for sure she's had with
she flirts with
Cap and Tony, but I think
the Hulk.
Yeah,
dirty bitch.
But I do think like I think there's moments that she's had with him, and then even like she knows like he's a pain in the ass. Tony knows he's a pain in the ass. And then, like, the whole interaction through Iron Man 2, which a lot of people try to forget about Iron Man 2, but there's some important shit that happened in that movie. And then, even in Avengers, when she laughs when he shows up to save Cap from Loki. Because, like, he's such an arrogant dick, and she's like, that motherfucker.
Yeah,
like,
she's like, you're such a prick.
There's, like, those things, you know, and then there's all of Winter Soldier. Where she spent alongside Cap, going on these missions with him, trying to impress him. And she gets so disappointed in herself when she's like, oh, this one's on me. And then Cap's like, you're goddamn right. And he's like so mad and he walks away. And she's like, fuck.
Yeah.
And then the kiss, of course. And then the car ride when she's like, you see me as just a friend, blah, blah, blah. So, like, I don't know where the fuck her allegiances are, dude.
I don't know.
I really don't.
That's why she's such an anomaly in this movie. And that's why I don't necessarily reference Hawkeye. I know they have it more aligned on Team Cap's side, but, like, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like
Hawkeye is more cut and dry for me.
But I feel like he's closest with Natasha.
Sure.
And I feel like she might be playing him.
There's a fight scene between them we know of.
I know.
Which is going to be cool.
Which we haven't seen yet still in any of the trailers. No. But I know he's closest with Natasha out of them all.
Right.
So I feel like if Natasha gets in between...
She's the godmother of his child.
That's so true. If she comes in between Tony and Steve, I think... that's what I think is going to happen. That's how I think they're going to stop fighting. I don't think it's going to be a big bad that comes and they're like, shit, like now we have to
I don't think it's going to be that.
I think it's going to be Black Widow, and I think she's going to get hurt very badly, and I think both of them being so close with her is what's going to be like, fuck. Like, now we're hurting our friends that are aligning with us.
Where does Pepper play into this? Where does she... I know. In some kind of key role? Where does... I don't fucking know, dude.
I don't know. There's so much unknown.
Where's Spider-Man going to come in? What's everyone going to think about him when he comes? So like he's gonna just drop in there, and then everyone's like everyone looks very fucking confused. Yeah. So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. So Spider-Man is in this. We'll show him. We'll talk about the suit, but like let's just talk about his presence in this universe. Yeah. So like everyone looks very confused when he shows up. You just see Black Widow's kind of like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then Cap's like he gets
he's literally webbed up.
His hands get tied up. He gets his shield. This man gets his shield just jacked from all these powerful people that he's been going up against, and it takes this fucking 14-year-old kid to come in and be like, mine. Yeah. And then you're like, everyone's like, who the fuck? What is happening? And like, what is the response going to be?
I have no idea. Honestly, first of all, no, obviously positive. You have to think. I'm wondering what.
No, not.
Oh, like in the cast of characters.
Like, what are the Avengers going to?
Yeah.
What are they going to say? What are they going to?
Well, you would assume Tony told all of his team.
Did he? Maybe he's his ace in the hole, dude.
I guess so, but like, even obviously Tony and Peter have to know each other before this whole thing.
Like Cap and Peter, like I'm wondering right there, is there like going to be like a quick like mano-a-mano between Spider-Man and Cap, because the rumor was the scene shot was
the shield
Spider-Man versus Cap.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know, they're just gonna throw down real quick, and then it's like, who the fuck is this kid?
And then he leaves.
Yeah, like,
he's just out.
I don't know, dude. I'm really curious to see how the rest of the Avengers.
What I'm very curious about that scene in general is, like you said, is when he comes in, everyone's there still. Like it's not just like he came in. That's why I don't think he's his ace in the hole. Because at that moment, you still have all of Team Iron Man standing against all of Team Cap, and none of them really look that beat up or torn up yet. And they're still standing in that empty lot of wherever the hell they're fighting.
Yeah, War Machine's still up.
War Machine's still up. He hasn't fallen from the sky yet or anything. So I feel like if Spider-Man was his ace in the hole, it would have been like when they were that scene where Bucky and Cap are throwing the shield back and forth, beating the hell out of him, and then he was like, like, I need you, like, come here. And then he would come in and swing it. That, when you proposed that idea to me originally, I was like, that would be fucking incredible if Spider-Man swung in and just kicked them. And was
I would have liked that.
Oh, I would have been so
even
happy.
the odds, but the way I think now from seeing some more stuff that whole situation, that whole fight's gonna play out, I'm okay with.
Like, not having that now.
Right. Well, let's talk about that last, and we'll give the rest of our thoughts on Spider-Man here. But yeah, I'm really excited just to see what kind of like vibes he brings to the situation. What kind of like what everyone has to say about him. Like, someone. I feel like it's gonna be either Hawkeye or Ant-Man. From who are going to be the ones from the opposite team, like, fuck, that's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, someone's going to have something to be like, that's awesome.
I see them giving the comical lines to Ant-Man. But it's so cool now because Spider-Man gets to be the comic relief. For so long, that was Tony.
In such a serious situation.
And so long, that was Tony. So now I feel like to take a page from his book and, like, now Tony's going through some shit. Like, obviously, he's beat up, he's broken down. And then for Spider-Man to come in and be like, hey, everyone, like... Everyone's like, what? Like, what are you? What is this?
Yeah, like who are
you?
Are you a man? Are you, like, what are you? Who are you? It's like...
Confirmed in this trailer as well, he has the web shooters.
He does, yeah, and he wears the cartridges on his belt.
Yeah.
So we talked a little bit about that last time on the Level Up show. It's going to be cool. I hope we get to see him swing around, just run out and be like, oh, fuck. And, like,
reload,
keep going. You know
oh my god, it'd be so happy.
Yeah, there's a lot of really interesting things that I think are going to come from that. I can totally see... my most anticipated thing from Spider-Man's arrival is... the way him and Tony are gonna like play off of each other.
Yeah.
Like in that scene, totally when he shows up, like I can totally see Tony be like, "I told you to come in from the right."
Yeah, or something.
And like, "You said the left, dude." And
yeah,
just like a totally
back and
stupid
forth,
like little thing. Like, I'm so excited to see them working together. And then even when they're in the lab, you got to imagine there's gonna be something like some more character moments with them earlier on.
Yeah.
He's developing the suit and stuff, which we'll talk about soon.
The only thing that scares me is I really like that he's a kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I like that aspect of the acting and the playing off of, like, their one-liners, and, like, I think that's a really cool aspect. But I don't know if, like, if Team Cap, if they do fight Spider-Man, if they go after him, like, it's like grown men beating up a child.
Sure, yeah.
That's scary to me.
Right.
I feel like that's very dark, and especially, like, that would be on Tony.
Mm-hmm.
If, like, Spider-Man gets seriously hurt in this movie, and that's why we don't get a Spider-Man solo film for forever now, and that's the reasoning behind it, is because he gets so badly injured in this battle.
That's a possibility that no one's really brought up, I think. No one's really considered the fact that what if Spider-Man
He's a child, and he
hurt?
could get so hurt.
What if Spider-Man's the one? What
Tony
if
would
Spider-Man's the one who gets injured and then both sides are like, we just crippled the child?
He could be the essential Black Widow-like character.
Yeah, which is interesting because in the comic books, he was the one to come in and be like, stop fighting.
Yeah.
He's like, you guys are killing our friends.
He's not, yeah.
And like that's how the war ended. And then finally Cap was like, you're right. He's like, and he turned himself in.
Yeah.
So if they still use Spider-Man as that like peace stick,
they need to,
but in a different way where it turns out he gets injured and that's why they stop fighting. That would be cool to see Spider-Man be the one still.
That's what I've been thinking about since I saw him, and I was like, when I heard his voice especially, I'm like, he's still so young.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and like all these people are in the, you would imagine they're from like 30 to 40.
Yeah, well, Iron Man's 50 now.
Well, Robert Downey Jr.
I mean, they're not trying to hide the fact that he's age, so Tony's like looks like
he
he's
does have the
older.
gray hair and stuff too.
Cap's like, Chris Evans is like in his mid-30s, I think.
Yeah. But that's my point is, like, Tom Holland is literally a teenager still. So if, like, I'm picturing, like, Cap's shield going after him, and, like, maybe it rips, like, a shred of his costume, and then he's like, holy shit, like, you're just a kid? Like, that's crazy to me, and I feel like that could be a thing that breaks up the fight as well. That's what I keep thinking about, is how is this going to end?
I like all of the possibilities.
I know. They're all good stories.
I kind of lean to it. I like, because I'm Spider-Man's my dude, like, I like the idea that, like, no one can fucking lay hands on him. Like, I hope he just shows up and everyone's like, what the fuck? Like, somebody get this kid. Because, like, he's so fast, dude, and he moves different. Like, he's something unlike they've seen before. Like, it's not a Vision where he was created. It's not science and magic. It's not Thor.
Yeah.
It's not a suit of armor. It's not a serum. Like, he's a superhero.
Yeah.
He got turned into a superhero.
Yeah, it's not like mutant powers like Scarlet
It's not
Witch.
a suit. It's not Ant-Man's suit. Yeah, it's not. I've been experimenting on it. So he got bit by this fucking spider. Yeah. And he has superpowers now. Yeah. So, like, I mean, arguments could be made for the others, but in my eyes, he's the first superhero to show up and be like, yeah, I'm a fucking superhero.
That's why he's so amazing and essential to the Marvel Universe. Amazing? It's crazy. Funny, no pun intended. I don't know. I see him... If they do that... If they do that, then I think they have to... I think he has to have a lot more footage in the movie.
I don't know.
I don't think it would be believable if you watch these characters for how many films and then have this kid come in and just like fuck them all up.
Sure.
Because that's too much, I feel, especially for his young age.
I don't think he'll fuck them all up, but I think they're gonna have a hard time on it.
I think, yeah, he'll be an anomaly for sure. But I think in order to justify that, I think having the Peter and Tony dynamic for one. And then number two, I'm really hoping our theory of him showing up for, like, the youth outreach program, and he has, like, a backpack, and that's all he has. And he has, like, the hood and elbow pads and stuff.
I'm like, that's the one thing in this movie where I'm, like, 90% sure that's what we're getting.
It has to happen.
But
then Tony to be like, okay, you want to be Spider-Man?
Right.
You're Spider-Man.
Yeah,
okay.
I can totally see that. Yeah,
and like him like setting that, I know, that's awesome.
Man,
we didn't even get to the other dynamics of the
just want to watch this.
I know, so bad. I wish we could turn it on right after.
I know.
Scarlet Witch and Vision.
Yeah.
Scarlet Witch is fucked.
Crazy.
The last time we saw Scarlet Witch, yeah, she was in the Avengers like hangar, and Steve was coming to train her, but she lost her brother. Mm-hmm. She flipped out and saw the extent of her powers. She knows she's powerful as shit now.
Right.
And in the scene with Vision, she's taking Vision down.
Right.
Vision's one of the Infinity Gems. That's crazy.
I caught last night actually for the first time that the gem in his head is red.
Yeah,
it's red. I don't know. It could just be because her like powers are floating all over him, but it seemed like it was like infected with her.
Yeah,
like
which we know she's been able to infect the whole Avengers team before that.
Right. But it's interesting. Yeah, that's really interesting especially because last we saw them, they were all training together.
Yeah.
Which means she'll know all of his moves.
Yeah.
Because they've been training together.
That's what I mean.
She'll have gotten stronger because Cap's been training her.
Yeah.
Natasha's been training them.
Yeah.
So like,
combat-wise, like martial arts and defending yourself-wise, I think that's what Natasha and Cap bring. For Scarlet Witch, she's eons above, like, just supernaturally, like, her mutant powers and what she has. She's, like, up there with, like, Dark Phoenix and, like, Magneto. Like, she's so powerful. And I'm really hoping... You've seen her in the trailer. She just bursts herself up now. She's flying around.
In the X-Men universe, she is one of the most powerful X-Men.
100%.
If not the most.
Yeah.
So, now I want to mention... Vision is not to be fucked with.
That's what I'm saying. So for him to be down on the ground, that's scary.
But my counterpoint would be, like... I don't think he's going to be staying down. I think that's going to be a moment... I think it's going to be a moment of weakness.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna have a moment of like, get the fuck off of me. Like I think, like also to the same point of Scarlet Witch is where like we didn't really see the full extent of her power.
Yeah.
The Vision that we saw was the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
He's strong as shit, dude. And like, I don't know. I can't fucking wait to see it.
I know. And the best part about them too, shippers out there, they're romantically involved.
Which I wonder if we're gonna see that
in this movie.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Maybe she puts him down and she puts him down like that. And she's like, "Now kiss me."
Yeah. She's like, "Come on, pucker up." So we have them. We have Black Widow's first fight scene in the trailer too. Mm-hmm. Her taking down people as always. She's just so fluid. She reminds me a lot of Catwoman, just the way she moves and fluidity, taking down like 17 guys at once. She doesn't care. She's Black Widow.
But before we run out, I want to talk about the last fight here. So we get so what you brought up earlier was Winter Soldier and Cap when they're kind of like demolishing Tony.
Yeah, just shield back.
So it seems as if I don't expect. I mean, there's a chance someone can still come in and like maybe they do come.
Yeah,
in
we haven't seen a lot of the
bail
last
him
fight.
out of that fight, and maybe they pop off after that. But like, it seems at some point there was an image released. Minor spoilers if you don't want to know anything else than what's been shown in the trailers. Mm-hmm. I'll give you a second.
One.
There's been an image released where you can clearly see Winter Soldier's laying in the background behind Cap. His arm is gone.
Yeah. Completely red.
So I think there's going to be a moment of rage.
It's like detached physically
and
from it.
I think Tony's just mantled his arm.
I'm thinking that has to be after the Rhodes scene.
Right.
Is Rhodes dead? We don't know. Is Bucky torn up? Fucking yeah. I don't know if they killed Bucky in this film.
Which isn't as offensive to me because like it's already a metal arm.
That's what I mean.
How much could it hurt?
That's what I mean.
You know,
it reminds me of Reese from like Tales from the Borderlands, how he could just rip off the robotic arm, but he's
not
gonna die.
Still, I think he's gonna. I mean, he's clearly knocked out.
Yeah.
So I think he's gonna knock the fuck out, and then I think Iron Man just gets in a fit of rage there because I think
the final scene has to be Tony versus Steve.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be that because that's what it's called. Captain America: Civil War. That's the epitome of what the war is.
From everything the trailer's showing, it looks like that's what we're getting.
And if that's the last fight scene, I don't want anybody coming to save them. I really want to know who is gonna go down,
or who's gonna back off.
I don't see that happening.
I can honestly see it, dude, because depending on what happens to Bucky and depending on what happens to Rhodes,
we
don't know. But remember, in the end of the book, Cap does finally back off.
Yeah.
He's like, this is wrong.
Yeah.
At the end of Winter Soldier, the movie, when he's totally tearing up Bucky big time, like he had that fight won, it was over. He backs off.
Yeah.
He's like, you're my friend.
Yeah.
And like that's always inside of Cap. That's what makes him Cap.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know, man.
I still think it's gonna be some. I think it's gonna be, even if it's a scene at the end where they're outside and they look around them and they're like, "Fuck! Like we did it again, guys! Like Nova Scotia takes 17."
Yeah,
like,
that's true. Yeah.
Like when they look around, I think that might be a thing that does it. I really think Black Widow is gonna play a pivotal role for some reason, just because I feel like she's so interconnected to both of those characters.
I hope
she's
she
very
does,
rare
because she's been around for a while.
That's what I mean. She's
paid
been
her
around
dues.
since the first film.
She deserves like a huge moment.
And then finally, for once, she hasn't
It
gotten her
would
own
be
movie.
sad to see her go if they killed her off.
Yeah.
Especially because aside from Scarlet Witch,
She's
right
the
now
only
she's
female,
the only female.
Yeah.
But they're bringing in Miss Marvel. They're gonna bring in others.
Yeah.
If it has weight to it,
her death would mean so much more than
then like
Quicksilver's.
I get it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like I love Scarlett Johansson. I hope she
love
gets
her.
to stick around
Yeah.
and see Infinity War through. But like, I'll get it if they do.
Because that could be something that turns them over. Or then, like I said, the most recent thing that's been popping in my head is Spider-Man. Like, he's just a child, dude. Like, to look around at themselves and be like, we're fighting this dumb war now that children are getting involved in. Like, that's just a dynamic I don't think they can either of them live with.
Right.
And I think Tony's just very arrogant. And I think he's going to bring in Peter. And I think he's going to be like, come on, like, you said you'd do this for me, and I made you the suit, so let's do it up now. And then, like, once, like, somebody puts Spider-Man down, which I think Spider-Man's gonna go down, and once Spider-Man gets put down, I think Tony's gonna be like, fuck, like, he's way too young, like, I was just blinded by my hatred for fucking Steve. He possibly killed Rhodes, possibly killed Pepper. She's playing a key role somewhere.
I think the only one out of all of them that could probably take Spider-Man out is gotta be either Cap or Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
Hawkeye, I don't really think stands a chance.
No.
Ant-Man, I don't really think stands a chance.
Spider-Man, all he has to do is web.
Falcon, I think is not gonna touch him.
I don't think Falcon has a key role in Civil War, I'm being honest.
I don't think he
with
has
you.
a key role, but I'm curious to see what they do with Falcon because
one of the only
really
people we
shown so
haven't
much
seen in the trailer, that's what I mean.
I
We even
mean,
got to see Crossbones in the
You
trailer.
could say he doesn't have a key role, but I mean, he's one of the contenders to become Captain America if something happens.
I know.
So,
That
like,
scares me, though.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't know what's going to happen. I'm very, very, very fucking excited.
Oh my god,
I'm thrilled with this last trailer.
It's crazy to me that this came out right before Batman vs Superman's about to release.
Tough, yeah.
Because now I have no excitement for Batman vs.
it's
Superman.
tough. I'm gonna be totally pumped when I'm sitting in the theater.
Yeah, me too.
And Batman vs Superman is starting up.
But all I can think about is Civil War.
This is all I've been thinking about.
Yep.
Spider-Man's all I've been thinking about.
Yep.
I can't stop thinking about
I know.
it.
It's so
I'm
good.
super excited to see what happens in the end of this. The whole thing with Tony, and he's like, he just looks over at him. I think we gotta watch the trailer after the show.
Yeah.
He's like, I need to see.
Yeah.
and he's like, just so like sad and like pissed off. And Cap's like, we didn't have to end this in a fight. And he just looks over at him. He's just like,
Yeah, he
and I'm like,
backhands
damn,
him.
dude, like he is not fucking around. He's like, you just started a war.
Yeah.
Drops the helmet down. I'm like, holy shit.
It's just so good.
I can't wait.
It's so good.
So before we go, let's look at Spider-Man. Our brief thoughts about the suit.
Love the animated eyes.
Yeah.
I love the black arrows on his sleeves and also above his kneecap.
Yeah, I like
think-
the way they designed it.
I like the way they mix black, blue, and red.
Mhm.
I think the Amazing Spider-Man costume, like you said, there's plenty of iterations of Spider-Man to come.
Sure.
If this is his first appearance, there's so much more to come from
The
him.
eyes do seem to be mechanical.
Yeah.
They make kind of a lens shuttering sound when they go from they're pretty. The white is more prominent before this, and then he kind of like squints them down like he's focusing.
Yeah.
So I'm
very
wondering
similar
what
to the
kind
way
of
they do Deadpool's.
well, Deadpool's were animated. These seems like it's going to be a piece of technology.
Yeah.
Which I think is going to. I think there's a reason why they specifically showed you and did the mechanical sounds. Like I think they're going to address that.
What's curious is that it's just the white part of the eye that goes down, rather
Right.
than Deadpool's whole
Right.
like black and white part. Because then you see like that's just Ryan Reynolds making faces. In the
I think it's
costume.
going to have something to do with his focus, or maybe like the way he is able to use his spider sense. So I think
just think about that.
I know. I
know.
think it's going to be. I think it's something specifically that Tony's going to have designed for him. Also, a lot of people are like, "Oh, Deadpool did it now." No, that's not how the way the film industry works. They had these eyes designed for a long time, as I'm sure they did with Deadpool too.
Yep.
there's no way that Deadpool comes out and then they're like, oh, let's make Spider-Man's. That's not the way the film industry works. So if
Spider-Man's been known to be in this movie now from them. This has been so long.
The CGI, the design work on these films is not something you can change overnight like that. So if you're thinking that, get that out of your head.
Yeah.
I love this suit. The little spider's also been kind of controversial. People are like, it's really small.
That's my one gripe with the costume.
It's a little small. Yeah. It could have been a little bit bigger.
Literally, if they just went from... It doesn't have to be as large as the Amazing Spider-Man.
Just a little bit bigger.
Like, just go medium.
Even, I think it's because the head of the spider is kind of very, very small.
Yeah.
If that was a little bit bigger, but...
Everyone's been calling him Spider-Tick.
It's super Ditko. It's very much Steve Ditko's Spider-Man, which I love, dude. It's definitely different than anything we've seen.
Yeah. Love the utility belt of the web cartridges.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's for me, it's just the right amount of movie and comic book and,
like together,
and previous inspired iterations. It's all coming together to make Marvel's first Spider-Man, and like, as probably one of the world's biggest Spider-Man's fan, I fucking love it.
What I love too is a lot of the webbing around him. It starts from his face. And then different iterations of the costume, it'll start from the chest and go around. And I really like that it starts between the eyes, and then the web goes all the way down.
Typically, that's the way it goes. Yeah, in the comics and things like that. In the movies, they take a little more liberal approach.
They go down.
But this is usually what, like, I used to draw a lot for art school, and every time I drew him, this was kind of the way I would do it, because
he looks beautiful.
Took so much inspiration from the comics, you know. But
I'm very happy. I like the little detail touches that they put in with the black too, especially. I didn't want it to be just bright red and blue. I mean, that's awesome. It's beautiful, but not for his first time out.
No.
You know what I mean?
This looks like the Spider-Man that belongs alongside the rest of these guys.
I agree with that.
I'm fucking
and it's happening.
Super thrilled.
I know, and it's happening.
Super excited about it. And I think that's all we really have here.
Yeah, that was it.
Right? Thank you guys so much for watching episode 30 of Power Up, your favorite superhero podcast. You can catch this show every Saturday at 10 a.m. on youtube.com/The Level Up Show, level spelled LVL, or head over to patreon.com/The Level Up Network for just $1 or more. You can catch this show 5 days earlier on Tuesdays. I'm so happy we had Greg in person this time.
This was beautiful.
Next week we'll be back to our regular format, and hopefully I'll have this video situation worked out. And that's it, guys. Follow us on Twitter. I'm at @thebeast_NJ. This is at Greg Virga on Twitter. Follow us, and we'll talk about superheroes with you guys all day.
I love this kid, and I love all of you.
I love you, and I love you.
Power up!
Power up. Your gum is green.
My gum is green.
Your gum is green.
I didn't realize it was green when I put it in my mouth.
What kind of gum is it?
I think it's spearmint.
Spearmint?
Spearmint.
I don't think there's an A in there.
What do you mean?
Spearmint? Isn't it just spearmint? You said spearmint.
Yeah, spearmint.
Spearmint?
There's no A in between the spear and mint?
I don't think so. I'm not gonna say no because I'm not positive. I don't think so.
I just don't get how this works.
I'm pretty sure it's just spearmint.
It's spearmint.
Spearmint? Spell it for me.
SPEAR. AMINT.
I don't think there's an A after the R. I'm not sure. Let's look it up.
Wait, I'm very excited. I'm very excited to know. Have I been saying this wrong the past 20 years of my life?
I don't know. It could be a me thing.
Literally, my first word as a child was spearmint. If I'm being honest.
Yeah, there's no A after the R. It's just spearmint.
Wow.
We did it.
That's crazy.